Hello, and welcome back to TeaBookClub. We're an international group of tea lovers and readers. We read a book over a 2-month period, and we meet up every month to share our thoughts. At the end of the first month, we meet up for our social, where we pick a theme from the book, or perhaps we have the author come along, and we have a nice social time on Zoom. At the end of the second month, we meet for our discussion about the book, where we share our thoughts on the book, what we got from it, our favourite parts, articles, chapters, etc. The book we're reading at the moment is actually the third issue of 80 Degrees magazine, which is so beautiful and has such good articles it's worthy of being a book in itself. And we are in the second month of reading, so at the end of this month we will be meeting for our discussion to share our thoughts. Every week I read just for 5 minutes from one of the chapters in the book, so that you can catch up or see what's happening or just get a feel for it. If you'd like to join us at the end of the month to share thoughts on the book, if you've read it already or you just are interested in the articles, then do come along. Head over to Join TeaBookClub on Instagram or teabookclub.org. Those links are also below. So I'm just going to read for 5 minutes. I'm reading from the article on page 116 entitled From Spittin to Samovar. This is with photography by Andrei Koblashninov. Sorry, I think I got that right. In ancient times, the people of the Russian land came up with the idea of boiling a bunch of spices and herbs with honey and jam. Everyone was smitten by this concoction and they named it spittin. Its preparation and ingredients varied across families, but the idea is quintessentially Russian. This drink became so popular that it reigned as a national treasure for centuries, until the arrival of tea, that is. To understand what tea in Russia is currently going through and where it is headed, we sat down with Andrei Koblashninov, mixology winner of the 2018 Tea Masters Cup in Russia. He has been in the beverage industry since 2004, first as a bartender, then as a coffee barista, and his robust experience propelled him into coffee entrepreneurship and consultancy. However, his love for history led him into the circles of the Russian tea culture, or at least their attempt at its revival. And in 2017, he exchanged his coffee apron for a tea one. He has since dipped his fingers in several tea projects, including creating tea shop Nitka and the very first modern Russian style tea house, Chayka. How did Russia shift from spittin to tea? By the 19th century, the influence of tea as a new commodity was beginning to weigh in across all corners of the Western world, and spittin became its casualty. Moreover, as it is usually the case, tea makes its mark not just in the drinking habits of a population, but also effectively infiltrates local cultures and customs. This happened in Russia too. Chaynayas, tea houses, not only popped up as places to have tea, but also to gather. They became so important to public life that even the government supported them with low rental prices, low taxes, and permission to open very early in the morning. Their styles ranged from simple shops in the poor areas to lavish restaurants for the rich. Naturally, brewing tea at home became a routine of every family, while the aristocrats took its preparation to another level by dedicating parts of their houses and palaces to tea rooms. Gender stereotypes prevailed, so ladies chose English-style porcelain, while gentlemen drank from glasses with special metallic holders. But the most famous and innovative utensil that defined the Russian tea culture was the samovar, or self-brewer. Samovar is a vessel for heating water. It comes in various shapes, but the principle is the same. The water is heated by an internal firebox, which is a high tube filled with charcoal and which boils water. It became a cultural phenomenon and a symbol of traditional family tea drinking, sort of a Russian tea ceremony. In those days, a rich family would have several samovars. One was beautiful, if not ostentatious, indicating the wealth of the family. Another one was for everyday tea parties, and one just for hot water. It is not clear where this ingenious gadget originated, only that its first makers came from Tula. It is an important symbol of Russia and is said to have given the Russian soul its shape. What happened to the tea culture after the turbulent time of political and social upheaval during the Russian Revolution? Although tea has been an important part of the Russian cultural DNA, the end of the revolution in 1918 saw our tea culture eroded and eventually destroyed. A small kettle replaced the samovar. As everything related to tea began to degrade and simplify, the Russian tea market was flooded with tasteless, mass-produced tea. It was mainly black tea made from low-quality, machine-processed leaves. Sometimes it was blended with Indian or Ceylon teas. The famous Russian caravan tea was substituted with something that looked like tea but tasted like straw. In cities, all tea businesses were either nationalised or closed. The typical Russian-style tea houses disappeared. In fact, there may have been no such places opened in the last 100 years. However, the tides are changing and the time is ripe for the reinvention of the chaynaya. Russians are craving their own tea identity as well as really good tea. The market started an intense search for unique Russian teas with their own distinctive packaging to counteract the long period of nondescript Asian-style tea domination. Russia is already one of the leaders in the modern coffee culture, and many coffee professionals want to help define and elevate the local tea culture too. The Tea Masters Cup project was created here and consequently spread around the world. It is now an important driver in the modern tea market. Oh, and that is 5 minutes. The article goes on, and it's really interesting to hear about tea in Russia, because it is quite different, and I think any of us who've ever heard about Russian tea know how different it is. If that was interesting to you and you'd like to get involved, then head over to the links below and join us for the discussion at the end of the month, 26th, or to join us for our next read over the next 2 months, which will be announced at the end of the month. Thank you.